Hundreds in handcuffs after a huge bust worldwide. An FBI investigation based in Southern California fooled criminals into letting them.
The DEA and law enforcement in Colorado announcing a record-breaking fentanyl bust. Agents say it's connected to one of the world's most powerful drug.
I can confirm at this time that the FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence.
At 4 minutes past 4 in the morning, a convoy of 31 vehicles cut their headlights on a two-lane stretch of desert highway 12 miles outside the city of Crestonvale. Children in nearby ranch houses slept. A community that had always believed it knew its most powerful neighbor was about to learn it never did. Operation Stone Ledger began not with a tip, but with a spreadsheet. 14 months earlier, an IRS criminal investigation analyst named Sandra Voss had flagged a sequence of wire transfers flowing through a non-profit called the Sonora Civic Heritage Foundation, headquartered at 4411 Palomino Drive, Suite 9, Crestonvale, Arizona. On paper, the foundation ran agricultural literacy programs. On paper, it had received $220 million in private donations over 4 fiscal years. No donor list existed, but behind the scenes, agents from the FBI Phoenix Field Office and HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, had already identified the foundation as a financial node. They just hadn't understood how large the node was yet. At 3:47 a.m., 49 agents from 3 agencies staged in the parking lot of a closed feed store on Route 89. They reviewed blueprints. They confirmed frequencies. They double-checked warrants signed by a federal magistrate judge in the District of Arizona. 17 pages authorizing search and seizure at 4 separate properties, including the 6,200-acre Sunridge Territorial Ranch, registered to a holding LLC controlled by fictional Governor Harlan Voss Caldwell. Governor Caldwell had served 2 terms. He was known for tough border rhetoric. He was also, according to a 94-page sealed indictment, the administrative anchor of a Sinaloa-aligned distribution network prosecutors called the Piedra Roja Pipeline. This wasn't a border smugglers operation. This was a financial architecture. At 4:04 a.m., the first units rolled through the main gate. No answer from the guard booth. The booth was empty. Motion sensors inside the main ranch house had been disabled, but not by the agents. Someone had cut them from inside, 9 minutes before arrival. There was a secondary structure agents hadn't been briefed on. A low prefabricated building set 80 meters from the main house, marked on county permits as an agricultural equipment bay. The door was locked with a Series 7 biometric panel. Standard bolt cutters wouldn't touch it. Within minutes, everything changed. A tactical breach team from HSY's Special Response Unit applied a hydraulic spreader. The panel cracked at the frame. What they found inside wasn't farm equipment. It was a climate-controlled vault space, 38 feet long, 14 feet wide, holding vacuum-sealed parcels stacked floor to ceiling, along with 4 server towers running on independent generator power. Agents didn't understand the full scope of what they were seeing yet. Inside the parcels, 4.3 metric tons of compressed fentanyl analog compound, street-branded under the name Gray Granite, a pill press product designed to look identical to pharmaceutical oxycodone. Each tablet carried 3.8 milligrams of a novel synthetic opioid that DEA toxicologists would later classify as 140 times more potent than morphine. Not prescription drugs, not standard cartel product, a mass casualty pharmaceutical replica. The server towers were a different problem entirely. They were active, and before the first agent reached for a power switch, a remote wipe command was already in transit. Then the screens went black. HSI Cyber Division agent Marcus Okonkwo, not embedded with the raid team, caught the wipe signal on a packet monitor at 4:11 a.m., 7 minutes into the breach. He had 43 seconds to isolate the hardware before the encryption cascade completed. He pulled 2 drives manually from the second tower. 43 seconds. He made it with 12 to spare. Those 2 drives would become the evidentiary spine of every indictment that followed. By 5:30 a.m., simultaneous operations were executing across 4 locations. A law firm at 201 West Chandler Boulevard, Crestonvale, Whitmore, Seelig, and Partners, was entered under warrant. A licensed trucking company called Desert Span Logistics registered at a Tucson industrial park off I-10 near the Ruthruff Road interchange, was sealed. A private medical clinic operating under the name Southwest Wellness Consultants on North Oracle Road in Tucson was surrounded by ICE agents in full tactical gear. And back at Sunridge Ranch, on a secondary underground access corridor concealed beneath the main horse barn's concrete floor, was breached by a forensic entry team at 5:58 a.m. The corridor ran 340 feet. It connected the main property to a neighboring parcel owned by a shell company. This wasn't a ranch with a secret. This was a distribution hub with a house built on top of it. The ledger arrived in a banker's box pulled from a floor safe behind a false wall in the law firm's fourth-floor records room. It wasn't digital. It wasn't encrypted. It was a physical bound register, 214 pages, handwritten entries dating back to 2019, cross-referencing 9-digit account codes against delivery weights, route numbers, and what appeared to be initials of receiving officials. 6 pages contained initials that federal analysts would later match with 91% confidence to municipal employees across 3 Arizona counties. This wasn't just about drugs. This was about who had been paid to look away. While the ledger documented $18.7 billion in projected pipeline flow over a 6-year horizon. Not laundered, not seized, projected. A forecast, a business plan. At 8:22 a.m., a crowd of approximately 340 residents and media personnel had gathered at the locked secondary gate on Sunridge Road. Some held signs, most held phones. 2 local news helicopters orbited overhead. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office deployed a mobile command post and 3 crowd management units to maintain a perimeter 200 feet from the gate. No agent addressed the crowd. No press release had been issued. The operation was still active. 12 secondary suspects hadn't yet been located. By 9:15 a.m., tactical teams in Phoenix and Tucson had made contact with 11 of them. The 12th, a logistics coordinator named in the indictment as Subject R7, had boarded a bus at Tucson's downtown transit hub at 4:52 a.m. They were already too late. But within 72 hours, Subject R7 was taken into federal custody at a motel outside Flagstaff. The cell phone recovered on their person contained a partial copy of the encrypted ledger, transmitted in fragments before the server wipe completed. The wipe hadn't worked, not completely. By nightfall, some of the numbers were beginning to crystallize. 213 individuals arrested across Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. 4.3 metric tons of gray granite compound seized. 38 vehicles impounded, including 7 commercial semi-trucks registered to Desert Span Logistics. $47 million in cash recovered from 3 properties. 6 bank accounts frozen across 2 institutions. The physical ledger entered into federal evidence as Exhibit 1A, Stone Ledger. The cyber trace from those 2 salvaged server drives led investigators not to a foreign server farm, but to a municipal network node housed in the basement of a Creston Vale public utilities building at 88 West Industrial Loop. Not external infrastructure, internal infrastructure. The cartel's data architecture had been embedded inside a city building for, according to forensic metadata, at least 26 months. Silence in federal investigations is never accidental. The question that federal prosecutors would spend the next several years answering wasn't how the pipeline operated. The pipeline's mechanics were documented in 214 pages of handwriting. The question was how a 6,200-acre property, a licensed law firm, a medical clinic, and a municipal network node had operated in plain view across 2 full election cycles without a single internal escalation reaching federal oversight. If the IRS analyst had not flagged that wire transfer anomaly in month 1, no warrant ever reaches a magistrate. If Agent Okonkwo had not caught that packet signal at 411, every server drive is dust. If that second tower's 3rd drive bay hadn't physically jammed on the wipe cycle, the ledger's digital mirror disappears with it. 3 technical accidents stood between an $18.7 billion operation and permanent invisibility. What does that tell us about the systems we believe are watching?